Well, good morning, everyone. This is John Craig. Welcome back to this Let Us Reason Together Monday morning edition. Glad to have you all joining us. And what is Let Us Reason Together? Well, that's where we come together. And based on Isaiah 118, come now and let us reason together, says the Lord, says Yahweh, though your sins are as scarlet, they'll be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they will be like wool. And this is where we sit down, reason out current events, cultural shifts, and of course, this week's Torah portion. And we can either push back or push through. Nevertheless, if iron does not sharpen iron, sparks will never fly, let alone ever get a fire going. Without a little heat and a good midrash, how will our hearts ever get soft and moldable enough to be transformed in the way that the Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, wants us to be, and maybe have a little fun along the way? And of course, what is today? Today is Monday, July 26, 2021. It is the 17th day of the fifth month in the Hebrew year 5781. That fifth month is also known as the month of Av. And we're glad that you are here. Here is the verse of the day taken from the Brit Hadashah, part of the this week's Torah portion, and which says in Matthew 16:19, I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall have been bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall have been loosed in heaven. Well, with that said, I want to say good morning to those that are joining us over there in the chat room. We've got Joe in there so far. We've got Bob in there so far. We've got Jeff in there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Spread the news. Post it on your social media. Let people know that we've got a live show going on. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to get into the Torah portion. And then, of course, we'll skip over to the uncensored news. We got some things we need to talk about today. So with that said, I want to introduce to you this long-lost co-host from the distant past, Mr. Mark Smith. And he's coming by his real name today, and I'm just blown away. Mark, you got your real name in there. What's up with that?
Hi, John.
It's good. I'm so glad that you're back. We have missed you.
Oh, well, thank you. I've missed being gone. It's hard to watch the show and not respond on air.
Yeah, there you go.
To just not be in there and respond. So, hey. But I have new additions here. This is the reason I've been gone, is because I fit in with the Walmart crowd when I don't have my teeth, but now that I have my teeth, they won't allow me back in Walmart. They say, you have too many teeth. No, that's horrible. It's a terrible thing to say. But I can say it against Walmart because it's Walmart. But
yeah,
no, I got many people from many producers from Lamb Network chipped in and helped me to get my dentures. The insurance company wouldn't do it. So anyway, long story short, now I can come back and hey, and my name is Mark.
Yeah. It's your real name. Hey, so we also have joining with us, we've got someone joining us from Brazil. Wow, that's awesome. And then
cool.
And I've got a co-host here that is just waiting in the sidelines and who is looking some things up for us real quick, but she'll have some time here in a second. I'll bring her here in a sec. Well, I'm looking at her across the camera because she's just on the other side. And Sandy's pulling some things together for us, Mark. So in the meantime, did you have a clip for us that you wanted to share?
I do. Give me a quick second here. I'm taking care of some business that is very vital, and I believe I just took care of it. So
okay.
All right. Yeah. Hey, no, I want Sandy here. There's no way I'm showing this clip without Sandy.
Okay.
No way.
All right.
That's what it's all about. Is I was hoping Tammy and Eddie would be here, but apparently they're supposed to be watching or listening on the road. So, wait, hold up. You didn't introduce her.
This
Come and sit there without being introduced.
This is Miss Sandi Craig. This is my lovely wife. Good morning, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Good morning.
Do you remember that guy? Remember what he looks like?
He's my friend, and I get to talk to him a lot. No matter, even if nobody else gets to see him, I get to see him. So
we get to talk to him. We haven't seen him,
but not on the. I've seen him,
You
but not on the show. You snooze, you lose, dude.
Oh, you're like Skype or something, or
Sandy and I Skype all the time.
All the time.
Or FaceTime or whatever they call that stuff. Who does that stuff anyway?
Not me.
All right. So hey, we just lost my picture here because
that's our picture.
I know. How did that happen?
You got me. Here, here.
There we go.
Say,
okay. No, there we go.
Here. I'll do it too, and then we'll be the four of us. Talking here.
Woohoo! Yeah, that happened. That happened on Shabbat too. Bumped the cord and lost the picture. All right. So
okay. So you're talking about the clip. Let me preface this. In an effort to bring up the new lambnetwork.tv, which will be in its minimal capacity after Sukkot. And then when we have our 10th anniversary in March of next year, and remember, I'm still learning to talk. So there's I have a big tongue and not much space up there anymore. The 10th anniversary will be during March of next year, and we've got a lot of stuff planned. I am going back and bringing in all the old archives. Believe it or not, I have every archive of every show broadcast on Lamb Radio.
wow.
Every one of them. And I've got them all stored away. I even had to go buy a new external hard drive because of trying to put them all together. Everything got to do with Lamb. And eventually, hopefully by March, most of the daytime hours will be solid on lambnetwork.tv. So you could get up in the morning before War Room, go to the website, lambnetwork.tv, and just let it play throughout the day until the end of the day. And there'll be all kinds of stuff, including old Lamb radio archives. Okay. And so now listen to these statistics. Let's be precise. I think it's right at 118 shows Lamb has broadcast in the past 9.5 years. 118 shows. You know how many hours of content that adds up to? That's just the old Lamb audio archives, plus the new Lamb Network video archives is over 10,000 hours of content.
Wow.
And it's just sitting on my external hard drive. And it's all good. I mean, it's all good. So why not give a place to play everything we've done for the past 10 years? Right? Right? I mean, duh. It's a stinking moment. Right. On top of that, the Lamb Network still produces 30 plus hours of new content, what you're watching right now, every week. So on top of everything we've already done, every week we're still producing new content.
So, Mark, your next project then, now that you got all this together, is to pull out all the bloopers.
Yeah, there's enough work. There's enough work just in this. So anyway, so that's my preface into going through and finding the old archives and stuff. And I ran across something that I thought you and Sandy would be interested in. And also Joe is watching. Johanna is also on this video, so I made sure she was here too. So you want to see it?
Yes.
Here we go. You're gonna love this. I mean, I'm just telling you, you're gonna love it. Okay. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Is that microphone? That microphone looks a little funky, but hey. It affords me the ability not to wear my headphones. Mark can't be with us today, so we've invited Sandi Craig's brother. That's me. I'm Sandi Craig, only I'm spelled Sandy, and Sandy's name is spelled Sandi. Our parents were just slightly whacked. Just slightly. Let me see if I can't get that so I don't. There you go. That sounds all right. So good morning, Sandy. How are you?
I am good, Mark. Sandy. It's good to see you, Sandy.
Well, you sound like you've been smoking cigarettes all your life.
For about 50 years. Yeah, it does.
50 years. Okay. Well, you don't look like you have, but
she started in her mother's womb.
Oh. And Johnny Boy Craig, how are you, Johnny?
Good morning. It's good. It's all good.
And we have GI Joe with us this morning. GI.
Hey, good morning. How is everybody doing today?
Joe is our token Mexican today because we don't hate Mexicans. We like Mexicans on this show, and she's
token Mexican.
She what?
Not a token, but a token Mexican.
Be careful with that.
The way she said, she came on, I was like, Joe, what are you on today?
Hey, man. I'm filled with the joy of Yahweh. Hey, oh.
There you go. That's what it's all about. Well, so if you can see, Sandy and I, we look really a lot alike. I mean, if we'll take off the glasses, you can see. Actually, this is really what I really look like. Yeah, that's right. ZZ Top did get saved and became messianic. That's me. Hey, what's up? What be going down? So, Sister Sandy, actually, I want to let everybody know Sandy and I have a brother by the name of Larry. This is so hard. It's just those headphones are so hot when my hair is down like this. Sandy and I have a brother named Larry, and when he introduces us, he says, "Hi, I'm Larry. This is my sister Sandy and my other brother Sandy." So, and Sandy, John, I hope you don't mind, but I wrote your wife a song.
You did?
Is it okay?
I would love to hear that song. I might have to use it on her later.
Okay, are you ready? And by the way, everybody realize this is December 20th. So, I've got now that may look like a Christmas tree to you, but that's not. It's just a green spade. Like, if you were playing cards or something, that's all that. And so here's the song, and it goes like, "Here comes Sandi Craig, here comes Sandi Craig, right down Sandi Craig Lane. All her cats and all her raccoons are eating her candy canes. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and gay. Join us right now on Planet Cuss. Sandi Craig is here today."
No, I'm not done. Here's second verse. We got a great show. We're going to talk about people who want to hate. We all have issues. We all have tissues. When we break a plate, we'll solve the problems of the world, even if they're gay. Sorry, I just, that word kind of fits in. Join us right now on Planet Cuz. We'll have a great show today.
And the
No,
crowd
we're going to
goes
do
wild.
the first verse again. Here comes Sandi Craig. Here comes Sandi Craig. Right down Sandi Craig Lane. All her cats and all her raccoons are eating her candy canes. Bells are ringing, children singing. All is merry and gay. Join us right now on Planet Cuz. Sandi Craig is here today. You can spell the Sandy S-A-N-D-I or S-A-N-D-Y. Either way on that.
That was amazing.
Wasn't it great?
You should record it.
Yeah, well, I think I just did. We even have video of me doing it. Now. So, I mean, that's our new promo for only visiting this planet. Is, it doesn't have to be any specific season or anything. It can just be. I find one of the funnest things in my life is to walk through a mall and just walk around going, ha, 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 ha.
Have you ever had a child come and approach you if you did that and ask to sit on your lap?
I would let him sit on my lap. What? It doesn't have to mean
right.
any specific character or anything. I'm just like, oh, hold up just a second. I want to look more like Sandy here. So there we go. Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm sweating. My hair's down, so I'm sweating. Hey, everybody, how's you doing? Good. We're. I'm glad. So, what's this? Duck Dynasty? What? You say I have some kind of Duck Dynasty look there? Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't.
Okay, enough of that.
Yes.
I'll say that again. Oh, you're muted.
I said that's hilarious.
I was just going to say, Mark, you're a mess. You're just,
Oh, those were the days. Those definitely were the days. We came up with some great stuff, and I still have it all. So there you go. I'm going to be able to play all of those crazy ones along with all the good teachings and everything. So look forward to lambnetwork.tv and hopefully sometime in early 2022, you'll be able to watch Messianic TV, at least during the daytime. So it has to all be manually done. Everything that's played that way has to be manually put together and done. It's not like the old Lamb radio where we had a scheduler and it just automatically did it. So, it's going to take some more work, but hey, hopefully I can find some volunteers to help me. Eventually we'll do a little bit more, but I thought you guys would enjoy that. By the way, Sandy has never smoked a cigarette in her life. She has just been kind of ill in the throat before that.
That's true.
Want to clear that up for everybody. And so, and yes, that really was my real hair. Yes.
It was.
And real beard.
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Mark, thank you for the blast from the past.
It was so funny. If you didn't notice, I was laughing the whole time.
I can see. I like to watch you guys' response down in the
Oh, so guys, if you wonder,
I actually had more dark in my hair, my beard then too.
I wonder why.
How old? I mean, like, how old was that?
That is from 2018. That
It was
was
not as
on
old.
December 20th, 2018. We had just gone video in October, late October. And so that's one of the very early video ones we did. But let me tell you what, man, there's more and more. And the more I find, if I find other little clips, I'll bring them to
That's
us
awesome.
and play with them. But
They're
there you
fun.
go.
That's good.
It makes you miss Planet, though. It does.
I do. I miss it all the time. I
Oh,
love to bring back a game show of some sort if we could just get people to, participate with us. Was the biggest issue. We stopped because it was a great show. We just ran out of people to bring onto the show, and you can't bring Joe and Sherry back every week.
every week.
It doesn't work that way. But yeah, I know. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, see, Joe says yes, it does. So anyway, all right, taking a lot of your time, brother. I thought.
Well, that was a lot of fun. So we've got our headlines that we got to touch on today. We've got our shower thoughts that we need to touch on today because that's just part of the tradition here on Monday edition of Let Us Reason Together. And by the way, if you're just joining us, I'm John Craig. This is Sandy, and that's Mark. And or as you saw in that other video, that's Sandy too.
Sandy with a Y.
Sandy with a Y.
I'm Sandy with an I.
I can't bring my hair down over my eye.
Yeah. And then Sandy dealt with her that voice issue going on there. We got her some help.
It's so funny that she looks exactly the same as she did back in December of 2018. But John, you've gotten all white and everything, so interesting.
I stopped using that stuff for men.
He's never used that. Don't even go there. He's never used that.
The problem, that you got that dye for the beard and stuff.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that you have to use it daily because you will show your gray roots every day.
Yeah. With me, I'd have to buy a 5-gallon bucket of it.
Right. Just dip
the way it was. Yeah. Dip your head in it. Yeah. I love it.
All right.
And shower thoughts intro is back up when you're ready.
Okay, let's do it.
What you got?
Am I doing it or are you doing it? Okay.
Oh, you want to do it now? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it now. Oh, wow, that was short.
Yeah, that wasn't the normal.
Okay.
Well, I'll check it. I think that's the one. Maybe that's the first one. I don't know. It might be an edit. I just went and got it real quick because I don't know why it got taken out of the stack, but it did. And so I just found one real quick, and it might have been an early edit or something. But
Well, that's good.
We'll play it 3 times then if you want to.
Oh, we're good. We're good. That's a good start. All right, because we've had to kind of wing it for the last few shows because it hadn't been up there. But hey, here's the so these are headlines from around the world, and headlines you're not going to hear anywhere else except here on Let Us Reason Together, the Monday edition. So with that said, here's some things that we're living in interesting times. All right, Sandy, this might be up your alley. This headline says, "We hate math. Say 4 in 10, a majority of Americans." We hate math. Say 4 in 10, a majority of Americans.
Well, I'm surprised it's that low.
Majority.
Oh, they say 4 in 10.
4 in
that's
10,
hilarious.
majority. So you have to have it over.
So how is it?
I get. I guess my
Okay,
brain was trying to be analytical.
Answer this question. How is that for me? Because I love everything from algebra, trig, calculus. I love math.
I think it's for you because you've got that one figured out because they're like, wait, you must be on the journalist side because they don't count anything right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Sandy though. Math is huge.
Math is
for me. I
fun.
love it. Yeah, it is.
It's
Math
fun.
is fun.
So how
I
about
told
this?
you we were related. We're brother and sister.
We're
I
brother
told
and
you.
sister, Sandy and
That's right.
Sandy. What can I
That's right.
say?
Yeah. All right. Okay.
You don't like math though.
I'm not a math fan. I just
Fant?
I'm
What is
not,
a fant?
I'm not a math fan or a fan. Either one.
I've always wondered. Okay, if you guys don't know this, John puts ing or t at the end of almost every word, and I don't understand why. He does.
But
Anyway. It's weird, and I'll notice it in his messages. I notice it when he talks. There's an ing or a t in front of behind words that should not be there. Why do you do that?
I have to say I had a very unusual upbringing.
Did not.
okay,
Yeah, that's
that
right.
explains everything.
Yeah, that's right. So when you grow up,
Blame your mother?
No, I just say you grow up in another country that you speak one language in the household, and you're trying to understand a language outside the household, and then you go to other countries that are nearby, and they all speak something different, and so there's weird things that come out of my mouth. That's all I can say.
I think that's an excuse,
All right.
actually.
Well, let's talk. Let's talk about this next headline. This is kind of on the morbid side. City plans its first dog park archery range.
All right. Well,
Mark would prefer it
that
be
could go. What?
You would prefer it be a cat range.
Yeah, I would. I would, but it could go either way on that. Are they teaching dogs to shoot bows and arrows, or are they using dogs as targets? You see, it can go either way by the way you said it. So we'll just prefer the fact that they're teaching dogs how to shoot bows and arrows. How about that?
There you go.
There you go.
It's not. They're not moving targets. They're not moving targets. They are stationary targets, and the dogs are moving.
Now, though, they may give the dogs an option to have just a regular target or let cats loose. So
there you go. All right. Well, this next one has to do with some of our culinary experiences and beyond. How about this? There is a proper way to cut cheese.
well, yeah,
Did I read that right? There's a proper way to cut the cheese.
No.
Oh,
Okay. Well, cheese slicer. You have one of them little things with the wire on it. And you just,
Okay.
I don't think that's where you were going.
So if you are outside of American colloquialism, and you might not have caught that, but
I don't know that Mark caught it.
did Mark catch it? There's a proper way to cut the cheese.
Oh yeah. No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. So if you don't know what we're talking about, you might want to go to Wikipedia. No, maybe not. No. Okay.
Well, you might want to go to what is it? What is it? There's a website you can go to, and there are regular things that are said, but I don't know what it is. What do you call them? Definitions. There's some kind of millennial definitions or something. I don't know. It's not what it is. Anyway.
Okay. All right. How about this one? Now this is very interesting. I don't understand this. I have no concept. I have no paradigm for this. Man with nothing to declare had 55 tortoises in his pants.
What? Okay.
All right.
I
Okay. What is are you supposed to declare tortoises? There you go. It leaves you kind of up in the air, don't it? It's just
yeah.
That I assume once again I didn't really catch the the humor in that.
I just, well,
unless you're from the Druze village in Israel, where the men wear these gowns and it has a big bag in between their legs. I could get 55 tortoises in one of those bags. No,
all I know is that my experience with tortoises is that they bite.
Oh,
They've bitten you before?
Well, they did.
Oh.
We had a dog named Boots, and my mom found a tortoise that was walking across the road, and so she's like, "This tortoise is going to get smashed." See, if you live in Oklahoma, you have tortoises, right? They're going across the road, and they're just they meander everywhere. And so there, she's like, "That tortoise is going to get run over. I'm just going to bring a tortoise home for John, for a nice little pet." So she brought a tortoise home for me. And so I had the tortoise out on the back patio, and Boots was with me. And Boots is like, "This is so cool." And he was licking and licking and licking and licking and everything. And that tortoise said, "That I'd get that tongue away from me," and went stomp and ripped his tongue.
I don't doubt.
Ow.
Ripped it. I mean, put a
Ow.
1/4-inch tear in his tongue.
Wow. That sounds like the funniest home videos winner to me right there.
Sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And my mom's like, "I don't know. Let's put some alcohol on it."
Oh, no.
So we got the rubbing alcohol out, poured it on Boots' tongue. We didn't go to the vet. We didn't anything. Boots had a little tear in his tongue after that.
And once again, let me clarify. Boots is your dog,
That was our family dog.
your family dog, but the dog idolized you and wanted to take after you and all the crazy things that happened to you, that it was your dog. And your dog got its tongue bit by a tortoise.
By a tortoise.
See, so, I mean, hey, it's the John Craig dog. It's we could call him the Taz dog.
There you go. That's right.
Okay.
That was before power tools.
Oh, well, don't give Boots power tools.
No, not at all. All right, so here's one last one before we go into the shower thoughts.
Aren't you so happy to have me back?
Yeah, we
Yes.
are. We are so glad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will shout that. Yes.
All right. So here's my last one of the headlines from around the world. Evangelist Roger Hillis. He's got his morning service, 10:30 a.m., preparing for marriage. Evening service, 6 p.m., a look at hell.
I would have said preparing for marriage.
And then
Look at hell.
a look at hell. A prayer preparing for marriage, a look at hell. Thank you, Roger Hollis.
Be preparing for divorce. Morning preparing for marriage. Evening preparing for divorce.
So
Same difference, I guess.
All right, a look at hell after preparing for marriage. But all right, it's all preparation, isn't it? Okay, there you go. How about some shower thoughts for today? These are those thoughts that you think about when you're in the shower, those deep thoughts when the mind is going wild and the warm water is running over your body and just your mind goes wild as you're just taking care of business. And these deep thoughts
Is
that
that
make
why
you
your
say,
showers take so long?
I'm telling you, it's a great reset. All sorts of things go through my mind. And if I haven't taken a shower for a couple weeks, man, it takes a lot of
You're full of it
It
today.
requires
aren't you?
lots of time. Well, here's our first one. Deep thoughts that make you say, the Titanic's sinking was a true miracle to the lobsters in the kitchen.
You always got to go to the brighter side, don't you? There's a lot of different perspectives on every scenario.
That's right. Because lobsters are always best fresh. That's why when you go into Red Lobster, you have a tank of lobsters.
Yeah, that's
sitting
right.
there.
That's right.
I want that one. No, we're not. We don't eat unclean stuff, but nevertheless, that's why it's sitting there.
That was a good one. I like that one.
All right. How about this next one? Youngest person alive. That must be a world record that keeps getting broken the most often.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh, all right. We're going to move on then. How about this one? If every person on earth blinked at the same time, nobody would ever find out.
Well, that's true.
Let's try it.
It's
Let's
true.
try it. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Did we
Did
all
it
do
happen?
it?
I don't know. I don't. Did you do it?
I did, but I don't.
It's all. We have to go back and watch the
Replay.
archive.
That's right. We'll
No,
go back
it's
and watch the
replay.
video. That's right. No instant replay on Lamb. Sorry.
Yeah.
Aw.
Got to catch the archive going on.
That's
How about
right.
this one? Have you ever heard of the product called Nutella?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Got
right.
it in my cupboard. It's in my pantry right now.
All right.
Have you ever tried it? I haven't.
I've never tried Nutella personally.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes way.
So
You
Nutella.
will at Sukkot this year.
Okay, that's a plan.
All right. So Nutella's greatest achievement was successfully convincing people that chocolate is a good idea for breakfast as long as you put it on bread.
Oh, that's good. I like it.
Now,
Oh, that's good. I guess that'll work. Hey, can I take this moment to offer my breakfast making abilities for Sukkot this year? I would like to fix breakfast for everybody every day. This at Sukkot this year. Is that all right?
That's a pretty big task.
Well, not really. I mean, I have a lot of different kinds of breakfast that I can fix, and I've even fixed breakfast at Sukkot for James and Abigail before, and they loved it. It's
Well, why
great.
did you? Okay,
What?
if you did that every morning that we were doing prayer, why didn't you make me breakfast?
No, it don't work like that. I'm offering my service. You can't go back. I'm offering my services for this year, and I tell you, all I got to do is buy a whole bunch of boxes of that instant breakfast. The chocolate you were talking about, chocolate, the chocolate, you put milk in there and stir it all up and everything. See, I found this past week because of my dentures. I can't eat anything solid. So I found that, or actually Adina did, found me this chocolate breakfast mix that you do. So I thought, what a great idea. I'll just fix breakfast for everybody at Sukkot this year.
There you
We'll
go.
get a lot of milk and a lot of those instant breakfast.
There you
Okay,
go. All right.
Hey, I offered.
you did offer. You did offer. So
I just shouldn't have clarified. That's all. But go ahead.
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
So Sandy, do you like walking?
Walking in spirit and truth.
I like walking in spirit and truth.
Okay, all right. Well, that works. Anything in America is within walking distance. It only depends on how much time you have.
That's
I have
fine.
none.
And if you don't get that, you should watch Forrest Gump.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'll include our friends up north above the northern border in Canada. That anything in North America is within walking distance.
Sure.
How about that?
Really.
And one last shower thought for the day for every one of us to think and ponder upon and say, and this is, when you clap, you hit yourself repeatedly because you like it.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yeah, repeat it once more, but I think I get it. What? Say
When
it.
you clap, you hit yourself repeatedly because you like it.
Uh-huh.
Phyllis.
Okay.
Okay, did you get that? Did you get that?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't have
never
to.
clap and frown. because it don't work that
It
way.
doesn't work. It's not. That's like
Try it.
It
It doesn't go. You can't even go very fast with it. If you're going to,
Yeah, that's right.
You can't
That's
even go
right.
fast.
Well, that's a
The
new
happier
revelation.
you are, the faster you clap. That's
Yeah,
There you go.
that's right. So think about that. When you have slow clappers, they're lying.
Thank you for clarifying.
Wow. Well, the revelation comes from the
It
show.
was
That was
profound.
outside. That's outside the shower.
That was as you're getting out, drying off. It's when
Uh-huh.
those things come.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you.
Well, there you go. Those are your headlines and your shower thoughts for today. Things to ponder and go, And if you didn't get them, just go back and watch the archives later on.
That's right. Which you'll probably see sometime on the new lambnetwork.tv, because all of these are segmented out and played later. So
There we go.
there you go. As a matter of fact, in between War Room and this show, I played the aloe vera portion of Health from the Inside Out. So, all I got to do is segment it out, and there you go. I learned again. I was there, and I learned again.
There you go.
That's good. Like I say, I've been saying on Shabbat, it's like sometimes we talk about stuff that we already know, so that we can remember what we've already learned.
Which is a great segue,
It is.
because we're going to look at the Torah portion, and it may be things that you've heard about, but the more we hear it, the more it gets in us.
There we go.
So,
Sandy's got the Torah portion.
well, I've had the Torah portion only for the last couple minutes, and I've been like, okay,
I wonder why.
what can I put in? What can I do for the Torah portion that I can prepare in 3 minutes? So,
Oh, I'm going to be quality. Hey, Sandy,
yeah.
have you ever taught this Torah portion before?
Yeah, but still, I mean, you want it.
Come
Okay,
on.
I'm not even going there.
Come
You want it to be. I prefer when I teach to have some revelational things there. I'm not sure you're going to get that today.
Well,
3 minutes. I don't know that I can do something like that in 3 minutes. So we'll see
let
what
me,
happens.
let me ask you this. Can the Lord give you something in 3 minutes, or does he really need like 45 minutes to an hour to really impart something when you're teaching and the Lord, you're listening to what the Lord's saying and you're imparting that to the people? Does the Lord need like 48 minutes or maybe 34 minutes to impart something new to you? Or when you're doing like 3 minutes?
He doesn't need any time at all, but sometimes I have to prepare myself to be the receptacle to receive.
Oh, receptacle.
Yeah, sometimes, I like, anyway. We're going to see what we can do.
I got your receptacle right here.
Torah, 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 Torah,
All right, folks, we are looking at our Torah portion today, Kev, and that is Deuteronomy 7:12 through 11:25. And we're gonna when we see this, we know what Moshe is doing right here. He's encouraging, but he's also challenging, and then he's also giving a warning. Yeah, he's doing all of those things because he's dealing specifically with the topic of Israel's right to access their inheritance. So we need to remember that. And when I'm talking about Israel's right to access their inheritance, we need to look at Galatians 3:29. It says, if you be Messiahs, then you are what? Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. So let's look at this word for a minute. And I know you may have done it before, but it's good to review it, right? It's good to review. So Ekev, And that's Bahaya Akev Tishmaun. When you look at that, it's as a consequence of you listening to these laws. But when you look at this word Akev, it has its root meaning from Akav. And you guys should know that because that's heal. And the minute we hear the word heal, where does your mind automatically go? It goes back to Yaakov, right? So when we look at to Yaakov, heal, it also means, though, to restrain or hold back. And it has this idea of restraining a heel while actually moving forward, taking a step forward, removing that thing that's an obstacle. But there's another interesting aspect about Akav, because it can also mean backwards as it is Baka. Okay, so it's this idiom which is for the redemption. But when you keep both of these in mind, then you have this idea of a restraining and the concept of redemption together. Okay, why is that important? Put that on hold. I want you to remember the heel and everything else, because I want us to go over the word a little bit more. Some would say would translate it as wherever or because, but it also means a consequence. And it can also infer to the end or the latter part of anything. Now, when we think of that, it sounds like this Achev is going to be for you and I. Why? Because it's a result that it's a term that results due to certain actions, but it's for them, but it's for us as well. Okay? Because he's speaking to the generation at the end. He's speaking to this generation that's about to cross over. He's speaking to this generation that will be crossing over, you and I. Now, when we continue to look at that word Hielakav, that root, it also means to circumvent, and it's the root of the name Yaakov, and which, due to Esau's accusation, as you've heard me say it over and over, has always been translated supplanter, but that's not what it is, because the root really shows one. When you look at a Akav, it really shows the one who follows at the heels, not a supplanter. Remember, we've got to stop listening to the words of the enemy. When the enemy calls you one thing or calls our patriarchs one thing, why would we listen to that voice? We shouldn't. So let's continue to look at this word Achav and heal, because I want us to understand that we are supposed to be the one who follows too, right? So if we look at it, let's look at the scripture from Genesis 3:15, because here's that law I first mentioned. Adonai said, I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and between her offspring. He will crush you. So he, the offspring, will crush you, the head, and you will strike the heel. Okay, now let's look at here. It says, the literal translation does not say the offspring will crush the serpent's head. It actually says the serpent is the head. Isn't that interesting? Because we interpret it differently all the time, because the serpent is going to continually strike at the heel of the offspring of the woman. Yeah, we've heard that before. We've experienced it before, right? But this serpent was condemned to permanently walk on his belly, and his revenge was to continually attack at the heel of the upright in order to bring them to his level. Now, you need to remember, we are supposed to be moved as people, as Hebrew. We are supposed to be moved by our spirit, which is our head, not the heel, okay, which is our flesh. So we also have that comparison. So we do not need to go down to the level of the enemy and be moved in that direction, because Yah condemned that serpent to walk that was permanent subjection to the will of God, and by proxy the offspring of the serpent would want to destroy the walk of those who are upright. So are we going to face challenges? Yes, but we need to remember that we're victorious. So with all of this being said, let's also go back to the understanding that Yaakov is not the supplanter, nor is Yaakov the usurper. He is the one that follows at the heel. Now, you've heard me say that 3 times now. Follows at the heel. We are to follow at the heel. What heel? We are to follow in the footsteps. Well, what's the significance of that? Whose footsteps are we to follow in? In Hebrew, the letter kaf indicates the palm of the hand, or actually the soles of the feet. And it's symbolic of possession. It's symbolic of ownership and authority and power and inheritance. And now think of that: possession, authority, power, inheritance. Now, let's look at Deuteronomy 11:24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. I'm going to say that again. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. That goes right along with that kaf, that meaning of ownership, possession, authority, inheritance. Remember, this is about the people crossing over. It's about us crossing over to our inheritance. So when you look at this, Yaakov from his birth was identified as the one who walks in the footsteps like Abraham and Isaac before him. He would be the one who would possess the inheritance and that covenant promise, because he would be the one who followed in the footsteps, in the pathways laid out before him. Now, when we interpret that wrong, we get a completely different meaning, and we lose the understanding of about our heel possessing the land as well. So when this also has a military aspect to it, because it describes the rear of an army. So a kev, again, brings us back to this place, this word that speaks beyond those who are standing right there listening to Moshe at that very moment, because it refers to also to those who are there at the end, speaking to our possession, everywhere our foot treads, that we have possession, we have authority, that we have an inheritance, but we've got to follow in his ways. We've got to follow his commands, because it's conditional, folks. Remember, there's a warning in this Torah portion as well. It's not passive. This term is not passive at all. It speaks with a warfare tone to it, that in order to truly assert this claim, there's a battle that we're going to have to go through, that there's a battle to be fought for this inheritance. When they went into the land, they had to fight. They already were declared the winner, but they had to go through the motion of fighting and taking ground, because there's action to their words. So in accessing the promises, it's directly connected to us taking our position and understanding our identity as the one who is not a supplanter, that Yaakov is not a supplanter. We're part of that inheritance of Abraham, that we are the ones that are to take possession and take our inheritance. And every place whereon our soles of our feet shall tread shall be ours in the name of Yeshua. And understand that we're not the ones that are supposed to retreat in this walk and in this life. We are the ones that are supposed to take back what the enemy has stolen. So no matter how much the enemy nips at our heels, no matter what kind of storm we're in, we are to understand who we are and our identity. Even in a word of this Torah portion, it says, come on, folks, do you not understand that you are mine, that you're my possession, that you are to operate from your identity in me as the seed of Abraham. But we as his people have this tendency to do more retreating than taking ground, because we don't understand who we are, because we don't even understand who our patriarchs are. We identify with a usurper or a supplanter, a false identity. And we take that sort of thing on, thinking ourselves as a false identity, and we make the enemy the one who causes us to retreat. No, he's the one that crawls on the ground, that will nip at our heels, but we already have the victory, and we've got to enforce it in a military term, in following his ways and understanding, because wherefore we are the ones who are victorious. Anyway, it's an encouragement, but it's also a warning in that when we walk around defeated and broken, are we truly understanding our identity? Are we truly taking back the ground the enemy has taken? Or are we letting the enemy take the ground that we have and take our identity and causing us to conform and become something different than what we're supposed to be? All right, so come back in, Mark.
All right. What are your thoughts on that, Mark?
I wonder how many people, if you just ask them randomly to name the patriarchs, how many of them would name John and Peter and Andrew and Paul the Apostle and Jude as our patriarchs, when most people just literally don't even study out study out Torah and all of that. I hope we didn't lose them, but something's not right there. Anyway, the other thought was the identity. And so many of us, based on what you're talking about there, so many of us, just like not knowing who our patriarchs are, identify with the physical in life because we haven't let ourselves identify with the spiritual world. I mean, it's a thing out there where if you feed in physical all the time and everything that is the physical things you see about you, and that's how you maintain every day, then that's where you're going to go all the time in any instance, good or bad or what the deal is. That's where your thoughts are going to go. But if you identify with your walk with God, meaning a spiritual walk with God, then those spiritual things become less dominant in your life, and the spiritual things and the way that you react and where your brain goes, that type of thing, goes more towards the spiritual. So it's identifying not only physical things, but the spiritual things, that type of thing. That's my thoughts on that.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's cool. I was just thinking too, is how, have you ever heard that thought they're saying about a good offense is a
Good defense is a
good defense is a good offense?
Best defense is a good offense.
Right. Okay. So think about this as what was Israel supposed to do when they went into the land? They weren't just to say go in there and then the enemy was going to come to them. They were to pursue their enemies and to drive them out of the land. To take that land and pursue them. And the problem was they went in and said, I want to get this land, and then they stopped. They didn't get all the enemy out of the land, and that was part of the problem that created issues and later on. But what Sandi you were talking about is, if the best offense or the best defense is a good offense. All right. So what if your offense is your defense?
It is.
So you're moving forward and to where your defense never has to hit the field because you are pressing forward so much. And because think about this over in the Brit Hadashah portion where it says, Yeshua is asking the question, who do people say that I am? And then Simon says that you're the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Yeshua answered and said to him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my kahal, my assembly, my church, and the gates of Hades shall not overpower, and I will give you the keys of the kingdom. And whatever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Sandi, you were talking about it's not that Jacob was the one that was grabbing the heel, the usurper, the deceiver, that type of thing of Esau, but rather he was pursuing. Esau was Jacob's enemy and has always been Jacob's enemy.
They've always been fighting for the land and the space.
So the proper offense is the best defense by staying on his heel, staying wherever that enemy is operating and working, is to stay on the heel so the enemy's plans cannot be fulfilled. And because there are purposes and plans of the enemy that he brings these actions and ministries against us, and yet what are we to do? We're supposed to be on our guard so much that we know the enemy's plans before he's able to even release them. Think about that. Those things that are revealed in the secret place so that we're not caught off guard. How many times do we find ourselves back on our heels because the enemy has blindsided us when perhaps the Father has been speaking to us all along? This is coming. Get on the proper advance to take out the enemy before he gets there. And yet, what do we see going on? Like, let's say what's going on in America right now. How much of the church, so to speak, is on their heels because they're being blindsided by things that the enemy is doing and manipulating in our world, right? Like the things that's going on with the policies of this administration and all of that. Yeah, but think about how many of these things that, we had things going for the protection of life. Now we were blindsided with corruption. And now we're having to go, okay, how do we regroup? Why are we having to regroup? Why weren't we on the offense originally? Why were we sitting on our laurels? Why were we sitting back on our heels? And so that the head of the enemy is snapping at us. And so, yet we've been given the authority from the keys of the kingdom of heaven that's talking about the authority to rule and reign, to where the enemy's plans can be thwarted. And how do we do that? And how do we walk that through? Well, there's a dimension there, walking in spirit and truth. We were talking about that, but it takes this time where how did Peter, how did he get that revelation? He said, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. Revelation must be through the Father, not by reading the headlines, not by looking at what the enemy's doing, not looking at all these bad things that are happening. It's through the revelation with the Father.
Okay, so the war plans happen in the war room.
The war plans happen in the war room. Yeah. Because do you think our military is sitting there looking at what's happening with China right now and saying, oh, what are we going to do? That all of a sudden they're doing all this stuff and they're such a big threat in the Pacific and blah, blah, blah. Or do you think they've game planned a lot of these scenarios out way in advance? What's Russia doing? Have they not game planned some of this stuff out? And because a good military is going to know their enemy, right?
Sometimes it seems like they haven't planned anything.
That's true too. Like, why are you going down that route? That's foolishness. Yeah, that's true too. So, or our enemy has game planned what our reactions are. And that's why we have to be ready. Think about that.
All right.
Amen.
Okay. Well, so that's the Torah portion for today. Thank you, Sandi, for jumping in there real quick and bringing that little nugget and some things for us to talk about and think about and ponder and have shower thoughts about.
And it was exactly 3 minutes. Very well done. I don't know how you timed that out. But
Well, we're going to wrap it up for right now. Now, we've got part 2. This next segment is going to be the uncensored news, the place that we can't put on Facebook or on YouTube. Because why? Because it'll take us off the air. We want to keep us on the air. And so we're going to go.
But we didn't do Sukkot.
Oh, we got to do that. Yeah, we'll do a Sukkot plug here.
Before we leave.
But then you want to stay with us and join us over here at the Messianic Lamb Network.tv, where you can watch it live, and also at Twitch. So y'all stay tuned. Hello, this is John Craig.
And this is Sandi Craig. And we want to invite you to the Feast of Tabernacles 2021. What's it called? Roar from Zion. And it is September 20th through the 28th at Lake Paladuro in Spearman, Texas. And you don't want to miss it.
That's right. So Life of Worship Ministries and Messianic Lamb Network would like to invite you and your family to join us at the 2021 Feast of Tabernacles. Theme is, I'm going to say it again, Roar from Zion.
And it's going to be a great time of fellowship as we gather together as the body of Messiah Yeshua to honor our King. In addition to this, it's a beautiful setting, and we're working to provide a week that serves to edify the body as well as honor Yahweh and promote an atmosphere of worship in the spirit-filled and spirit-led Sukkot.
So we will have some great speakers like Dr. Dina Dye and Eddie Chumney. Of course, John and Sandi Craig, that's us, and more. And along with the nightly worship and teaching, there's going to be special workshops ranging from archery, preps, dance to special teachings, as well as children and youth activities.
And you're going to be able to take advantage of the campground's outdoor activities like volleyball and hiking and fishing and frisbee golf and so much more.
So in addition to these events, we'll have a mikvah and marriage renewal for those who are interested. So we have several different options as far as registration in order to meet everyone's needs.
There's that full-time rate covering the entire Sukkot celebration for adults and kids, as well as
weekend rates for the final days, Friday to Sunday.
Or even the single night or day rates for that first Monday through Thursday. You know what? We have options. We have options for you.
Yeah, so lodging, you can have tent spaces, RV sites. We have a discounted rate at a local hotel. So
anything, you got it. And we want you to join us. In fact, we can't wait until you are there with us.
So join us for the Feast of Tabernacles 2021 Roar from Zion. And if you have any questions, please contact us.
And you can go to www.lifeofworshipamarillo.org and you can get that information or email us at low@lifeofworshipamarillo.org.
All right.
We'll see you there.
That's right. See ya.